Alright folks, this is Eric coming from Kansas again. In my previous video I mentioned I might be talking about these. So these are called IBC Totes. These are used for holding liquid of any kind. These I got from a gentleman that gets them from a food supplier of some kind, and they must buy them somewhere else. They're filled with, I guess they smell like they were filled with some kind of sugary stuff that's made for making food. I don't know what it was, but anyway, they came clean. They were clear like a milk bottle. And if you ever heard of the channel LDS Prepper, I would highly suggest you go and check his video out. He's been making videos for more than 10 years on prepping of all kinds, making, growing your own food, storing your own water like this, making power with solar power, and many other ways of getting prepared. So anyway, I went ahead and bought these a couple months ago, and covered them with black plastic like LDS Prepper. LDS Prepper stands for, if those of you don't know, Latter-day Saints Prepper. The Church of Latter-day Saints, part of their society, or part of their teachings, is they try to teach preparedness. I don't know if a lot of them do. I'm guessing a lot of them still don't, but he is definitely of that mindset. Anyway, back to these. So I went ahead and covered them with this black plastic that I bought from Home Depot. It's a big roll of it. It's a 10-foot by 100-foot roll. It stands about 2.5, 3 foot high, and it weighs about. It's not light. It weighs 20 or 30 pounds or more. So it's quite a bit of plastic. And I covered these two, this one, and we have a fourth one around the corner here that I covered as well. And I covered them because some people don't cover these, but if you cover them, they should prevent any and all algae or other biological buildup in there when you collect rainwater. Because, as you probably know, rainwater is pretty. It's a good environment to grow that kind of stuff, because there's no chlorine or fluorine or any other chemicals that people put in city water these days. But anyway, got these. Just have first thing you need if crisis ever hits is water. And I've been doing everything else, like storing food, making electricity, obviously, with our solar backup power system. But this is an area we're lacking in. We've got a gravity-fed water filter inside, but water storage was lacking for us. So anyway, but before anything ever happens, or before that, we're going to use this for our garden, growing food and feeding our plants with water from rainwater. There's a garden we've been building up. So we're going to be filling these with rainwater. So plants definitely like. If you really think about what they put in water for drinking water, there's stuff in there that you probably want to filter out these days, and you never know what's in it, even though people tell you what's not in it. But definitely rainwater, is from nature, or as much as it can be, and plants like that a lot better than city water. So we're going to try and use more of this rainwater for watering our plants, and they should like it a lot. So anyway, and it's another source of water if we lose our water. Just something a lot of people don't think about is losing water pressure in their house. So and we can draw from these and fill up our gravity-fed water filter and filter it out pretty easily, and it'll taste just the same as it does now with using city water for drinking. Anyway, so that's enough of that. So what I'm doing here, so I've covered these up. with black plastic and duct tape right here, wrapped them like a present. If you want to see how that's done, check out LDS, the prepper website again. As I mentioned before, he shows you pretty much exactly how to do this. And so what I've ended up with is a completely covered tank, and these caps did not come like this. They came with a plug in them on top, right, like this. And the way you would open it is you just undo this like any other container with a screwable lid on it, and there you go. It's open. It's got a rubber seal on it to seal it up. LDS Prepper and some other people have stacked these on top of each other, but I don't have enough room to do that if I want to stay under our soffit there. And I noticed when LDS Prepper did that, his tank, this bottom tank, is obviously pressurized. If you want the top one to drain down to the bottom one, and you could tell it was bulging out quite a bit on the sides and on top. So I just left them like this. If we need to get water up to you can see our terraced garden up there. If we need to get water up there, I'll plan on using a pump, setting a pump up somehow. Anyway, so these caps come like this with a plug in them, with some indents in them. And the way you get these out, and just look up IBC Totes or Rainwater Totes or Rain Barrels. I got these off of Craigslist, from a guy in town, like I said, that he gets them from a food place that they don't want to send them back because it's really expensive to ship empty containers like this because they're so light. It costs a lot of money for the what you send back. So I think they just give them to this guy and he sells them for like $75 a piece. So we bought them all for a few $100. Pretty cheap for the water storage you get, and it's more efficient storage than actually the blue barrels or 55-gallon drum type barrels you see. I'm an engineer. I like uniformity. Circles are nice and uniform, but they aren't. When you need to use up space efficiently like this, these are more efficient. So anyway, they come like this. This red cap's on them. I took them off. I'm not saying all of them like this, but they come with this plug, and this plug is in there very, very tight. It took me quite a bit to get this one off, but this other one over here I was able to get off by hand, but it was still on there pretty good. And what I needed was a tool like this. It's called a bung tool. So this is a bung, to my understanding. I call it a plug, I guess, but it's actually called a bung. And I just got this off of eBay. It's like $9, free shipping. I'm sure you can find them elsewhere, but I think this top part is for some other plugs to get them off. And it's also got some small, this is for smaller bungs, and this is for smaller, probably a tool or something else. But anyway, so make sure you get a tool like this if you buy one of these, or if you see a plug like this, get a bung tool, B-U-N-G. So anyway, I finally got this off. It's a 2-inch NPT, National Pipe Thread, or what do you want to call it, NPT, female fitting right here, 2-inch. So you just buy a 2-inch NPT I just bought a 2-inch NPT male to a 2-inch female glue fitting for PVC. Just screws that in there pretty easily, and what I'm going to do now is I'm going to start building some piping up to our gutter here, and I'm going to cut a hole in the gutter here eventually. I'd like to use that one way over there, but it's too far, wouldn't get as very good slope, things like that. So I'm just going to cut a hole in this one somewhere, and we're going to connect up here, and that's not all I'm going to do. I'm going to put in some, we call them sorry, this ladder's in the way. I'm going to run some 4-inch pipe down here to some elbows, and that's going to collect the first flush of junk that comes into guttering. So all the stuff from the trees, stuff from the roof, that's going to collect in those things over here. And then once those get filled up pretty soon, then it'll overflow and then start filling these totes up. So that's my plan, is to build a first flush system eventually too. But I don't have those supplies yet. I'm working on that. But anyway, that's what I'm doing with these totes. And you don't have to do that. You can actually just buy these and just fill them with city water and just leave them. And that can be your water storage if you want. You don't have to do all this other stuff. You just buy them, and they already come with these valves here. This one's got water in it, so you can see that. It's a nice little, it's not a ball valve, it's a butterfly valve in there. But it still keeps it closed, no water's draining out. This thing's about half full, I think. So, you don't even have to do all this fancy rainwater collection stuff. You can just buy these, store city water in them, and there you go. There's your water storage. So, something I highly suggest if you have the space and just a little bit of, money to invest in these. I think it's a good investment. So I'm gonna get started with this, and I may do another video on the other part when I get farther on this or do some more work. But thought I'd show you that. And grace and peace be with you. Bye for now.